Afternoon. No, it's afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. It's me, the Broken Bottle Boy, here on Twitch. With a show. With the show. The show it's a 4-paper show. I've got to go over here and close this curtain more. What a joy, hey? Really prepared for this Monday show. Super prepared. Good morning. No, I did it again. Good afternoon. Hello. What? Hello, Mark. How you doing? Look away if you do not want to see an expanse of unnecessarily white skin. Oh, brilliant! Encoding is already overloaded. Amazing scenes. Amazing scenes. Never used to do this. It's unfixable. Yeah. Anyway, hello. Hi. It's a 4-paper show. We've got The Sun, The Times, The Daily Mail, and The Guardian, I think? And The Guardian, yes. So it's going to go Sun, Guardian, Times, Daily Mail. That's the order of affairs today. Mark is still laughing uproariously about the BBC. What are my thoughts on the BBC announcement yesterday? Well, I don't know. It's complicated. Do I think that BBC News has largely brought it on itself? Yes. Do I think that we can get... Do I think I want the BBC to just disappear? No. Do I understand why a lot of people don't give a shit because they feel that the BBC has shat on them for years? Yes. So yeah, that's not very slightly convoluted. I'll probably write something about it at some point and where it will be more concise. Hello, SK, how you doing? Right, so yeah. Getting started here for a Monday. Marx's correct takes, in my opinion. C122, H122. How much Tory boot can you get in your mouth? Me? I don't know. I've got quite a big mouth, but good afternoon, Recursive Rose. How you doing? Right. Oh, you mean the BBC? Thanks. I was like, what? Yeah, that is the problem. SK has just got lunch. What have you got for lunch? Is it something good? I've not had any lunch yet. I've had a bowl of granola today and it was disappointing. Right, front page of The Sun. Holly is an iced tease. What the fuck does that even mean? Bye to a bloomin' legend, Peter Seabrook. They're still trying to flog cheap holidays. And the main story, Met Security Fury on year own. It doesn't work, does it? It does not work. On year own, Harry. Queen will not help Prince Harry in his demand for Met police bodyguards. Couldn't give a shit. Okay, no. Chronotham, yeah, granola. You didn't need to add that. It was disappointing. Fair enough. I had like fruit and yogurt and shit on it. It was alright, not shit. Fruit and yogurt and you know, I don't know. Sort of, I'm trying to be healthy. It's not really healthy, is it, granola? Because it's stuffed with sugar. Anyway, on page 2, 6.3 million will pay 10% of income on fuel. And this morning on LBC, Keir Starmer's solution to that was just to look a bit sad and say, oh no. Mark Canosis says granola is underrated. C122H122 says £9.50. Holiday would be hell. It would as well. On page 3, that isn't page 3, but is page 3, Les bats her lashes. Batgirl star Leslie Grace puts the strip into comic strips as she peels off for a swimsuit photo shoot. Jesus Christ, it's not stripping. She's literally just wearing a swimsuit. Also on page 3, hate speech. Facebook bans bar video vid pro for die veg ran. A telly cocktail expert was left shaken after being banned by Facebook for joking peas should be made illegal. Oh, shut up. Marcanosis, The Simpsons are going to Jaywick. Bad granola is really bad and good granola is merely okay, says the Burnzoid. That's probably true, isn't it? Hello, Fluff Weasel, how you doing? Harry again, didn't see that happening. Yeah, exactly. On pages 4 and 5, Met not gun for air. These fucking headlines. That doesn't work. like, the point, it's none of these headlines work. And Piers Morgan is back. He says it takes a special kind of entitled hypocrite to trash the royals and expect to enjoy their privileges. This is Piers Morgan, who was on the BBC's Sunday morning show yesterday, and when asked about the fact that James Slack, the Sun's deputy editor, was involved in Partygate, he suddenly didn't have any opinions. Interesting, isn't it? Burnsoid says granola is the inverse of pizza. Yeah, bad pizza's still good, and good pizza is really good. Rachel S. Club 7 put me in therapy. Rachel Stevens has revealed she's still in therapy to cope with her time in S Club 7. Yeah, S Club 7, notoriously the gulag of child pop bands. Piers Morgan, who was in Meghan's DMs. Yeah. Nothing to lose is the headline on their story about Boris Johnson's Operation Red Meat plan. He's going to send the Navy in to sort out the Channel crisis. On page 11, she's a key figure. Michelle Keegan squeezes into a pair of thigh-high leather boots. And that's a story, apparently. Trevor Kavanagh says, Bojo over the edge won't cure the Tories. Whatever that means. St Ives do for Taylor. Superstar and Brit actors loved up Cornish break. Pop superstar Taylor Swift enjoyed a whirlwind break in Cornwall with Brit actor boyfriend Joe Alwyn. Sparking rumours they got engaged. Rumours sparked here by The Sun. Mark Canosis, you have to respect the mask-off honesty of the name Operation Red Meat. Yeah, basically. Sankamara, I once served Bradley from S Club 7 when I worked in Little Chef. He tipped 3 pence. Clearly cursed. Yeah. Fuck him. Woman wears clothes, says the Burnsoid. Anything but tennis. No one cares about that. On pages 14 and 15, after One Direction stars fling with TV Abby, big girls say, we're way sexier. This is about the fact that Zayn Malik apparently liked this woman because she had a large bottom. Mixed weight couples can be hard, but his feelings are real. Fitness instructor Megan Goldberger, 25, started seeing Cy Colbier, 27, after meeting him on the plus-size dating app BBW Cupid. Megan, who was 5'3" tall and size 22, says Cy, an admin manager, loves her curves. She believes plus-size dating apps let girls like her shine. This is just like weird fetishizing. I mean, this. Oh, fuck off, The Sun. All couples are mixed weight. Yeah, exactly. It's fucking stupid. Disabled kids failed on help. Disabled children and their families are not getting the help they need, a survey warns. And why might that be, The Sun? Might it be that the governments that you supported have just fucking ripped away the social safety net even further? Fuck you. On page 17, plea over animal carer. Fears for Britain in Tonga tsunami. This is a horrible story. Angela Glover, 50, was separated from her husband James when a wall of water poured through their coastal home. She's runs an animal charity in Tonga. Kin United 2. Wait, was the name of that app? Asking for a friend. BBW Cupid. Kim Ye's rift over party. Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. His marriage breakup has hit a new low. The rapper claimed at the weekend that his ex-wife had stopped him from attending their daughter Chicago's 4th birthday. He posted a ranting video online which appeared to show him driving around the streets looking for the party. In the video, Kanye said, I'm just wishing my daughter a public happy birthday. I wasn't allowed to know where her party was. Yeah, best thing to do is put it on the internet, isn't it, Kanye? He'll be climbing up Big Ben dressed as Batman soon. Burnside, I watched... They explained about plastic surgery, and there was an interesting section about the fetishization of black body features on non-black bodies. C122H122, I only date women who are exactly 81 kilograms, no weight mixing. This is a relationship, not a boxing match. How is Kanye more divorced than Jeff Bezos? He is the most divorced man possible. Man in car vid is peak divorced energy, says Panic Future. Wishing his little smashes a happy birthday. How to break up with your phone. I don't want to break up with my phone. Police lock doors alert after OAP's ambush. Police warn locals to lock their doors yesterday after a pensioner's killer remained on the loose. Frida Walker, 86, was found dead at home with horrific injuries. Jesus. After a foiled burglary. Husband Kenneth, 88, was in intensive care last night following Saturday's tragedy. It is believed a raider ambushed the devoted pair in their semi before fleeing. Police urge residents in Langworth Junction, Derby, to be vigilant and carry out good security in their homes. What the fuck does that even mean? Right. A 9-year-old boy has got a C in GCSE maths. Fine. I knew Mick, and Mick alone probably would remember Marion Jeff. I love Marion Jeff. I had Marion Jeff on DVD. It's such a good... He was so good. So bleak. So bleak. My favourite kind of comedy. Hobbies. A collector, Angela Clark, has spent a lifetime bagging herself more than 10,000 plastic bags from around the world. She's amassed so many bags, some worth hundreds of pounds, that she keeps them in a dedicated storage place. Okay, fine, whatever. Peter Seabrook, the Sun's legendary gardening expert, never forgot the moment he discovered... Anyway, he's died. He was... How old was he? Quite old. Anyway. I've never heard of him. Good Money TV says, I love Marion Jeff. Yeah, it was a fantastic show. Sue Perkins' Big American Road Trip is the TV review from last night. And in the TV picks, Bradley and Barney Walsh, Breaking Dad, ITV 8 p.m. Kelvin's Big Farming Adventure, BBC One, 8:30 p.m. Geordie Hospital, 8 p.m. on Channel 4 tonight. It's not just a hospital for Geordie, it's just a hospital in Newcastle. Pablo Bonzo, I think my mum has more plastic bags and she's not trying. Right. Right, let's have a look at Dear Deirdre today. Ever since I was a child, I've been treated differently by teachers, colleagues, and even my parents. Is this I'm held to a higher standard? Teachers come down on me like a ton of bricks if I stepped out of line. No, I was generally a good kid. His parents are still horrible to him. Binham. I betrayed best pal for drunk lost. He should bin you. No, she should bin you. I repaid my best friend by having drunken sex with her husband. Well, you're a piece of shit. Excited to wear women's clothing. I'm obsessed with getting home from the pub just so I can get dressed up as a woman. I'm a straight guy of 36. Been single for 4 years and I spend all weekend dressed in women's clothes. Right, don't worry about it, mate. Live your best life. Enjoy yourself. I'm lost in London, but he won't move. I want to move back to my hometown, but my boyfriend is determined to stay put. We're both 48. Bin him. Trivial row over puppy led to riff with sister. Oh, God. Pablo Bonzo's got some interesting dirt on the Geordie Hospital thing. I really want to know. Mark, that is funny, but I can't read it out without doing it wrong. Page 50. Finally, page 50. The £50 letter. Sandy Mate the Mashin of Hempstead in Kent says, finally, Australia has deported Novak Djokovic. The only surprise is how long it took them. The Aussies, usually very robust when it comes to who they let in their country, couldn't possibly set a precedent and allow him to stay. Otherwise, they get every anti-vaxxer who fancied their chances down under knocking on the door. Yeah, because that's how it works. Now, let's just get on and enjoy the tennis. Fuck me. Person in the room is back in the room, as you may have noticed. And in the sport, Axe, Change and Mart. Roberto in line for shock return 6 years after they sacked him. Rooney and Big Dunk on shortlist. Roberto Martinez could be the new boss of Everton. Pablo Bonzo about Geordie Hospital. My chum's an ambulance tech, and they were trying to take away their lunch breaks. All the staff said they boycott the filming of the show if they didn't get to keep their lunch break. They got their lunch break back. Well, thanks. Good for them. Although it's just bullshit that they'd have their lunch breaks taken away. Bin Australia. Says C122. Tennis is a massive Tory sport, says the Burnzoid. Person back in the room, says C122. H122. Yes, person back in the room. Right. Paolo Bonzo, not scandalous, but a good bit of workers fighting the system on their own terms. No, yeah, it's good. Yeah, that is good. Okay, give me a scores for the Sun if you want. For me, classic. Quadruple negative nice. Just, doing what they always do. Now we're going to do the Guardian, speed run of the Guardian, as we tend to do with the Guardian. I think a minute and a half, minute 45. Let's try that. That would be a new PB. Although I should really do better at keeping track of the personal bests on those. 1 minute 45 on the Guardian. Quadruple negative likes from Slink Maya for the Sun, of course. Right, 1 minute 45, and we're off. Front page of the Guardian. Christine Baranski says, I know my way around a corset and a wig. Game, set, and dispatch. Djokovic loses visa battle. PM accused of attacking BBC to save his own skin. That's definitely what he's doing. British man named in synagogue. Terror act. I only did that because that's what they've got on the front page there. Left behind. Stories from those trapped in Afghanistan. Special report. Inside, grill behaviour while working in a Michelin-starred kitchen can lead to violence and abuse. No shit. Bard of Scotland, how Burns refused warnings over dialect. Jim Watson says the Tories plan to scrap the corporation's funding model, but what would replace it? Something probably worse. PM accused of attacking BBC to save himself? Of course, yes. Extremely disappointed. Djokovic leaves Australia over visa route ruling. Boo-hoo. Britain is too risky for us to visit, says Prince Harry. Millions causing themselves silent harm, and the newspapers have caused it to be like that. Millions caused by silent harm of drinking too much at home. Dystopia core. Dark films and COVID drive dark, harder edge fashion is the claim. Ministers hint at relaxing Plan B measures as cases continue to fall. COVID frontline pressures fight to avoid a repeat of last year. In the world news, Tonga blanketed by ash in the wake of tsunami unleashed by volcano. Jewish heirs battle for return of Nazi-looted Pizarro to be decided by US court. That's Madrid. Thatcherite zealots are now ready to take their party back, says John Harris. They never stopped. Polly Toynbee, the BBC must defend itself against this mortal threat. How exactly? In G2, Christine Baranski and some other stuff. Claire Armstead said why romance has seduced readers again. There's some various corrections and clarifications. Lord Miners in the obituary, and in the sport, marching orders. Djokovic deported amid support and exasperation. That is the Guardian. Let me check the corrections and clarifications. An obituary mistakenly said that the DJ Janice Long hosted a weekday breakfast programme on BBC Radio 2 and reduced by several years her time presenting the station's midnight show. Okay, that's not so bad. A birthday notice for Dame Sandra Hawley, the chief executive of Refuge, omitted her title. Again, the Times does real, whole stories have to be erased. Harry and Meghan should invoice Piers Morgan for their security since he is the major risk to them. Hey Gonzo, how you doing? Good to see you. The ads seem to be getting longer. Apparently I get a small cut of the ads, so grand. C122, H122. I want BBC versus Tory battle to the death. Fair enough. Right. Maybe they can get in a ring with lump hammers and sort it out. Whoever wins, we lose. Pretty much, it is a predator versus alien style scenario. Right, front page of the Times. First for football, Benitez sacked by Everton. What men really want in the kitchen? Food? Top of the shop. Rising energy bills unaffordable for a quarter of households. And as I said, Keir Starmer's solution, a shrug. The government's solution, just making us suffer, basically. A PM calls in military to stem flow of migrants. The Times, of course, delighted about this because they are a deeply reactionary paper. At the bottom of the page, Texas synagogue gunman was British. A British gunman was shot dead by FBI agents after he took worshippers hostage in a terror attack on a Texas synagogue. The suspect, named as Malik Faisal Akram, 44 from Blackburn, seized 4 hostages during the Sabbath morning service, leading to an 11-hour standoff with the authorities. He claimed to have explosives and told negotiators that anyone tried to enter the building, everyone will die. Police were called at 11 a.m. This thing about he claimed to have explosives, I don't think he was found to have any, though. Phil Niker says, you know nothing. Do I know nothing? What would be your hammer of choice for a fight to the death? Gonzo Socialism, what you want in a kitchen is a fridge and a sink. C122, H122, I just want food. Phil Niker again, you know fucking nothing. Okay, fair dues. Hello to you. Marknosis would use a toffee hammer, likes the challenge, and doesn't value his life. Phil, it's very boring. On page 2, Treasury writes off 4.3 billion in COVID payments lost to fraud. Yeah, funny that, isn't it? Funny that happens when it's businesses. North-South divide is getting worse. And also funny that that's happening at the time when apparently we don't have enough money for other things. Heathmore 2401. Read the BBC. I think it's a genuine shame that non-English stuff they do, like BBC Alba, is likely to get cut. Yeah, fair enough, yeah. Fair enough. Lorna Doone Parish's fight sell-off. Dismayed villagers are threatening legal action to save a rectory. Between them, the parishes of Ur and Culbone have provided the setting for the novel Lorna Doone and the place where Samuel Taylor Coleridge wrote, in Xanadu did Kubla Khan a stately pleasure-dome decree. The villages are now a backdrop to a dispute as parishioners threaten legal action against the Church of England to block it from selling a vicarage. Top of the page, that. Bet you're a real treat at parties, Phil. Says Gonzo Socialism. Check if Boris is in the fridge. Kin92. It says, I'm a big lad, not agile, so I'm leading into that and going sledgehammer. Yeah, fair dues. I think I'd go lump hammer. RSPCA called out to save stuffed tigers and floating chairs. As a nation of animal lovers, it will perhaps come as no surprise that Britons could get a little too carried away if there looks to be a creature in distress. One officer was called out to save a dog in a boat, and it was a stuffed tiger. Yeah. Sledgehammer is a banger, King United. Just bringing pure facts today. Family failed to draw out Britain in US siege. Family of British man who was shot dead after taking worshippers in a synagogue tried to convince him to surrender during the 11-hour siege. He had demanded that... What happened here? He had demanded that the US release Afia Siddiqui, a Pakistani neuroscientist linked to Al-Qaeda, whose case has long been a cause célèbre amongst terrorist groups. Pages 6 and 7. Tories dismiss Johnson's plan for a Downing Street clear-up. BBC hits back at Dorry's move to scrap licence fee. Call me Tony, says Blair after knighthood row. That's literally the Times just reporting the contents of interviews on the Times radio. TV presenter Trevor Phillips fought back tears over his daughter's death in lockdown as he questioned a senior Conservative MP about the Downing Street Party scandal. The news broadcaster could be seen trying to restrain his emotions as he challenged Oliver Dowden, the co-chairman of the Tory party, over whether Boris Johnson understood public anger over the gatherings in Downing Street. Speaking on Trevor Phillips on Sunday, he recalled getting a phone call in April 2020 to tell him that his daughter, Shushila, 36, who struggled with anorexia, had collapsed. He went on to say she had died the next morning. Talked about this once on the programme, and I hope I never have to do it again, but I think there are thousands of people across the country who feel as I do. He went on to say that he and his family stuck to the spirit and letter of the rules and told Dowden, "You are here telling me about a civil servant's inquiry that will not answer that anger. Does the Prime Minister really understand why people are angry?" The answer is no. Can Starmer win by being as un-Boris as possible? Right, Henry Zeffman and Patrick Maguire. What is the theory that he can just be so bland that people think of him as the Jacob's cracker of politics? Actually, it's probably more flavour than you get from Keir Starmer. On page 5, police protection for Harry would set precedent for private citizens is the claim. I want to call him war criminal Blair, says C122H122. Fair enough. Mask will stay on, but vaccine passports face axe. This again is like they're going to cancel the rules as Boris Johnson attempts to get people to like him again. On page 13, the horrible details of that story about a 5-year-old British girl who was killed in the French Alps in a ski collision by a fast-moving adult skier. Horrendous. Oh, coins news. Coins news. Old coins news. A metal detector has found what is believed to be one of England's first gold coins on his first search for treasure in a decade. The rare King Henry III coin, just under an inch in diameter, is estimated to be worth £400,000. Minted in 1257 by William of Gloucester, with gold imported from North Africa. Numismatists say it features the first portrait of a king upon the English throne since the time of William the Conqueror, who ruled from 1066 to 1087. The state of the coins are known to exist, almost all of them in museums. The metal detector has unearthed the coin on farmland in Hemyock, Devon, and is entitled to keep it because it is not part of a larger discovery. The man, an ecologist who wishes to remain anonymous, said the coin was found in an unappealing field and could quite easily never have been recovered. I feel I have to apologise to all those other detectorists who dream and search. There you go, there's the coin. And also, some ponies. Wallace, Kremlin lying about NATO to lay claim to Ukraine. That's Ben Wallace says, judge Putin's intent by the poison flowing from his pen. Yes, just got to really get coins. We've always got to get more enemies. That's what we need, yeah. New breed drawn to teaching career. A breeder at one of the world's most successful racing studs has left the industry to become a science teacher. Okay. Universities told to stop silencing sex pest victims. We've talked about this many times before, but the use of terms like that, it's so minimising. Universities will be told to not use non-disclosure agreements to silence victims of sexual harassment and abuse. An investigation found that nearly a third of universities have used the agreements to resolve hundreds of student complaints. The real figure is thought to be higher. All right. Spy's love note trail to lost Orwell papers. A flirtatious letter written to George Orwell's wife by an admirer has given new clues to the author's time fighting in the Spanish Civil War. A copy of a letter in a government archive in Moscow shows a Soviet agent trying to worm his way into the affections of Eileen Blair, whose husband Eric Blair published under the name George Orwell. The letter not only exposes the murky world the couple experienced in Spain, but also gives hope that Orwell scholars may be able to track down a cache of documents stolen by Soviet spies in June 1937. Agents acting for the Soviet Union ransacked the couple's hotel room in Barcelona while Orwell fought alongside Spanish communists, and Mrs. Blair worked as a secretary for the Independent Labour Party. DJ Taylor, the writer's biographer, said that the documents could represent the holy grail of Orwell study, giving insights into the man who went on to write A Homage to Catalonia, Animal Farm in 1984. Not only is the letter a translated copy of one of the stolen documents, but the file in which it was discovered at the Russian State Archive of the Social Political History was next to one that contained an itemised list of the other missing documents. Letter to Orwell's wife is playful note from David Wicks, ostensibly an interpreter for the Independent Labour Party, but actually a spy for the Comintern, an international organisation filled with Soviet agents. My dear Eileen, he wrote, I was dismayed when you recently mentioned that an American gent called you Eileen despite never having spoken to you before. Even in your innocent manner made it clear that you did not put me in the same category. Even so, the lack of any response to my awkward friendly advances have left me in the dark about what you think of me. Blah, blah. This is not very good spy. Sex Pest is a carry-on character, not a reality, says Slinkmeyer. Absolutely. Only the Times could make me get more annoyed by that story. Gonzo Socialism. Read Pepe Escobar in Asian Times for a good take on NATO, Russia. An unappealing field, like politics, yeah. That metal detectors will be partying more than the Conservatives when Philip died, says Clester. In the comments section, Claire Foe just taking a little break from writing about how much she hates GRT people, says, it's not too late to restore faith in politics. It's not satire either. She really means it. Elsewhere, Edward... I thought it was Roger Boys there, but it's not. It's Edward Lucas says, a new era of spying has caught us napping. The exposure of a Chinese influence operation in Westminster highlights deeper problems, does it?
Yeah, because she's not going to find any intelligence. Boom, boom,
boom, boom, boom. Satnam Sangara says, embrace it. You're never too old to be mothered. Libby Purvis says, feelings trump... Actually, it's quite a nice column. It's a sort of thing about how people never stop being... your mother never stops being your mother. Libby Purvis says, feelings trump reason in this age of emotion. Oh, fuck off. Right, in the corrections and clarifications, there are none today. Right, birthdays. Jim Carrey is 60. Nancy Argenta, the soprano, is 65. So Professor Subratnam Alkumaran, the president of the International Federation of Gynecology and Obstetrics until 2015, and the Royal College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists until 2010, 74. Zooey Deschanel, the actress, from New Girl, amongst other things, is 42. Shaq Skosh, the chief executive of the Claw Social Leadership Programme, is 65. Damien Green, the Conservative MP for Ashford, 66. Francois Hardy, the singer-songwriter, is 78. Calvin Harris, record producer and DJ, is 38. Cal Henderson, the co-founder of the Slack workplace messaging app, is 41. Susanna Hoff, singer-songwriter in the Bangles, is 63. James Earl Jones, voice of Darth Vader, amongst many other things, is 91 years old. Happy birthday to him. Shona McCarthy, the chief executive of the Edinburgh Festival Fringe Society, is 54. Do you?
Yeah.
Oh. The Right Reverend Nigel McCulloch, the Bishop of Manchester and Lord High Almoner to the Queen until 2013, is 80. Professor Anne Oakley, the founder-director of the Social Science Research Unit and author of The Sociology of Housework, 1974, is 78. Michelle Obama, First Lady of the United States till 2017, and writer, is 58. Sir Geoffrey Patty, Conservative MP till 1997. GEC Marconi, chairman from 1996 to 1999, is 86. Rowan Pelling, founder, editor of the Erotic Review,
Yay.
is 54. Happy birthday to her. Sir Michael Rake, chairman, Great Ormond Street Hospital, BT president until 2017 and president of the CBI until 2015, is 74. Ian Robertson, the rugby union player for Scotland and broadcaster of the rugby union correspondent, is 77. Mick Taylor, the guitarist in the Rolling Stones from 1969 to 1974, is 73. Lord Dennis Tunnicliffe, the opposition deputy chief whip and chairman of Rail Safety and Standards Board till 2008, is 79. Alexander Usyk, the boxer and world champion in 2 weight classes, is 35. Dame Gillian Weir, the organist, is 81. Ricky Wilson of the Kaiser Chiefs is 44. And Paul Young, still laying his hat all over the place, is 66. On this day in 1912, Captain Robert Scott's expedition arrived at the South Pole a month after the Norwegian Roald Amundsen's team. The last word goes to Robert Louis Stevenson, the novelist, in his essay collection Virginibus Perescu. The cruelest lies are often told in silence. So there you go. Do we need more Orwell study? Read another book, says Slenkermeyer. Would like Orwell more if he died in Spain. Chronotherm, is this the same operation of time wrote 5 years ago, back in the age of reason? We only use sciences like phrenology to make decisions. Mark Canosis, happy birthday, Zoe Deschanel. I want to hate you, but I can't. Yes, Susanna Hoff. We are pro Susanna Hoffs. Russians' winds of conflict blowing towards Norway, says Jonas Gahr Stone, the Norwegian Prime Minister. Kremlin's missiles move closer to the Ukraine border, writes Tom Parfit in Moscow. Web blackout fuels turmoil in Beirut, says Richard Spencer in Lebanon. And volcano may erupt again, experts fear. In Tonga. Minister hid 10 million bribes in a lunchbox in China. That's a former minister in China has revealed that he received £10 million in bribes hidden in small seafood boxes. But the Burnside, we all know James Earl Jones' most important role was King Jaffy Joffa from Coming to America. I've not seen the second film, no. Right. Trump returns with a promise to save laughingstock America. FBI bust crime tourist ring that netted $3.5 million. The South American thieves are stealing valuables worth hundreds of millions of dollars every year from expensive homes in the suburbs around Washington, police believe. Crime tourists, investigators call them, the international gangs have been behind scores of burglaries around the US Capitol. Scientists believe bears twist their paws in the earth to leave messages from their sweat glands. There's some cute bears.
I do that.
Do you?
Yeah, you just never know.
Email trail reveals sacked university president's affair in the United States. The University of Michigan has sacked its president over a relationship with a member of staff and published more than 100 pages of emails and texts between them. Mark Schlissel, 64, was sacked on Saturday after a special meeting of the university's Board of Regents. In a letter to him, the board said it received a complaint on December 8th that Schlissel, who is married with 4 children, had conducted an inappropriate relationship with a subordinate. For the sake of transparency, the board has posted 118 pages of digital communications beginning in 2019 on its website. Well, there's some light reading for you. Why men are now obsessed with kitchen gadgets. And it's just literally the front page of the G2. is a guy with washboard abs cutting a loaf of bread in an extremely inefficient way with entirely the wrong knife. So there we go. Why are men so obsessed with kitchen cabinets? Fuck knows. I flipped through the Lakeland catalogue with lust. I'm a gadget obsessive, says Harry Wallop. Satnam Sangera says, has anyone ever not felt lifted as they sliced a margarita with the smooth action of a pizza wheel? Hugo Rifkin says, those last few degrees of hassle that put you off eating an apple, this takes it away. It's literally just an apple slicer. We have one of those. Grand. A Japanese blade is all a man needs to keep him keen in the kitchen, says Simon Mills. What the fuck? This is a pro bear stream, exactly, Slinkermeyer. After blowing it in London, Constance Kampfner tried her luck on the empty roads of the Isle of Mull to pass her driving test. I'm going to suspect that Constance Kampfner is the daughter of John Kampfner, very well-connected British editor and journalist. That's just my guess. Anyway, curious how people get into the papers, isn't it? Anyway, that's times two. We don't normally do times two. Unilever's offers for Glaxo brands is short by £5 billion, says Glaxo. Would Glaxo be the right medicine for Unilever is the question. Paul Johnson in the business column says, we let our guard down on inflation now and we must parry the blows. Fuck me. We're pro Bears stream. It's because they have kitchen gadgets that suck you off, says Mark Canosis. Love to cut bread shirtless, says the Burnzoid. Yeah.
Constance Kampfner is indeed James Kampfner's daughter. I've just checked.
John Kampfner.
John Kampfner is her father, yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Are they implying that a knife is a kitchen gadget? They are. Chronotherm, how did G2 get a picture of me, the world's premier himbo chef? Yeah, you want to improve your security measures there. King United 2, one of the only good parts of the Guardian was Rick Salamander's kitchen gadget column. Right, Lord Sainsbury of Preston Candover has died. A fourth generation head of the family supermarket chain and generous philanthropist to the arts whose mantra was retail is detail. He was a 94. Also in the obituaries, Lord Minor's unconventional figure who chaired M&S during Philip Green's takeover bid and came to the rescue during the financial crisis. He's died aged 73. And Shirley McBay, the mathematician and advocate for inclusion, who was the first black student to receive a doctorate from the University of Georgia. She was 86. She should have got a bigger obituary than the boring white guys there. Thank you. Nepotism in the British media. Imagine that. Chuck Norris cuts bread with his thoughts, says Gonzo Socialism. And in the sport, this can't go on. Time for big changes. Root, Silverwood and Giles should all go after an abject Ashes surrender, says Mike Atherton. Djokovic sent home after losing appeal. And in the game, Everton return for Martinez after sacking Benitez. Injury hit Leeds, stun West Ham with 3-2 victory. And at the weekend, Norwich City actually won a game.
Yeah, and the headlines outside Hannon's on the board says, Canaries win, 12 pages of analysis.
The EDP loving it. Right, so that was the Times. Give me your scores. I mean, honestly, what is it? Centuple negative nice? Sextuple negative nice? One or the other, I'd say. Right, and in the meantime, just before I move on to our final paper, which is the Daily Mail, I'm going to do a roll call, because that's what we like to do. I'm the Broken Bottle Boy. You can follow me on Twitter at Broken Bottle Boy. Also on TikTok at Useless Conquest. This is the year that I'm going to start doing paper-related TikTok things. We'll see. In the mod squad, it's SK the Crusader, who has an excellent week of streaming coming up later in the week and is just generally good, so get involved with that. In the chat, Aratrax, Aiton, Bear Pavlova, C122H122, Commander Root, Dr. Fayad, Fluff Weasel, Gabundi TV, Gledster, Gonzo Socialism, Heathmore 2401, Jujo1, Cap606, Kin92, Chronotherm, Lilith Myscaria, Mark Canosis, Pablo Bonzo, Panic Future, Recursive Rosie, Slinkermeyer, Shypuff, Spike Trap Claire, The Burnzoid, and V&K. Thank you all for turning up for this Monday edition of the show. Do remember that there was a magazine special on Friday, and if you missed it, it's up on YouTube now. Philanthropy is a tax conscious Gonzo Socialism. Unconventional means he was sus, right? Okay, Daily Mail. How to beat all the little things that wreck your sleep. Sounds like a threat. Tory MPs asked, what's the difference between Sir Keir's beer with colleagues and PM's Downing Street work meet event? Now they demand Starmer must say sorry for drinks in lockdown. This story is ridiculous. It was ridiculous when the Daily Mail had it yesterday. It was ridiculous when the Sun had it in May last year. Someone's caught having a drink during a meeting where he was having some food, in a break in a meeting. It's farcical, that one, as much as I'm no Starmer fan. On page 3, Emma Raducanu was seen playing football. Britain gets boozy. Millions drink up to 50 units a week. Yeah, because it's a hell country. Gonzo Socialism rates the Times as minus 69 Sainsbury's sarcophaguses. C122, H122 says all the minus 69s. Mark Canosis says 99 desperate Googlings of kitchen knife urethra. 69. Quadruple 69. Quadruple negative nights from Slickermeyer, and the same from the Burnzoid. Pages 4 and 5. Met Police isn't for hire, Harry. They scream at him, and why can't he understand that giving up his royal role means losing his privileges, says Ken Worth, who was a personal protection officer to the Princess of Wales from 1987 to 1993, and obviously hasn't got over it. 30,000 big squeeze, how much bills will rise in awful April, almost double last month's forecast. We'll have to earn hundreds more a month, say Imogen and Duncan Tinkler, who have already seen their energy bills rise by £100 a month. Tinkler. They have a 4-year-old daughter called Xanthi and a newborn called Athene. And they run a small food business. It fucking sucks at it. JG Giftmarker, difference about 100 people. Don't know what that's referring to. The delay doesn't help with that. British girl 5 killed as high-speed skier smashes into her in the Alps. Horrendous. Rupert Grint said in an interview at the weekend when asked about J.K. Rowling that she's a bit like an aunt who he doesn't necessarily agree with over issues including trans people, and people are being insanely weird about that. Who was skulking about outside filming Starmer and Co? That's what I want to know, says Gladster. Yeah. Oh, the difference in the difference of about 100 people. Yeah, that's the difference between Starmer and Boris Johnson. Exactly. Navy and RAF will be deployed to fight migrant trafficking crisis in the Channel. Again, just distraction. Fascist policy. PM fights back after Partygate with number 10 booze ban. Bollocks. Terrorists from Blackburn shot dead in siege of US synagogue is how they cover that one. Page 11. After Andrew's false memory defense, Virginia's lawyer hit back. People don't misremember sexual abuse by a prince. The Duke of York would shout and scream if maids rearranged a collection of more than 50 teddy bears positioned on a bed at Buckingham Palace, a former royal protection officer claims. Despite being a middle-aged father of 2, he would become verbally abusive if staff moved the stuffed menagerie, the ex-officer told a forthcoming documentary about Andrew's friendship with the convicted child abuser Ghislaine Maxwell. To avoid confrontations, a laminated photograph in a drawer in the prince's private apartment showed the correct arrangement in the event that any of them had to be moved. Paul Page, who was in the Royal Protection Command from 1998 to 2004, also said officers believed the Duke was in an intimate relationship with Robert Maxwell's daughter because of the way she was allowed to enter and exit the palace. Mr. Page made the claims to ITV's Ranveer Singh in Ghislaine, Prince Andrew and the Paedophile, which will be broadcast at 9pm tomorrow. Journalist Elizabeth Day also recalled seeing an oversized teddy bear squashed into a seat in the corridor outside his office at Buckingham Palace, which turned out to have been a wedding gift from his ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson. She said in the Mail on Sunday's You magazine that the bear suggests the Duke as someone who has never really grown up because he never had to. JT Giftmarker, sorry, difference between Keith drinking, 100 people and a few cases of champagne, 100%. Tinkler, Athene Tinkler, drop the ball there a bit, didn't the current dead state of the Princess of Wales. Yeah. Pages 12 and 13. Days of licence fee are over, BBC told. Andrew Pearce, a man who often appears on paper reviews and on BBC shows, said, viewers champion who summoned Auntie's bosses, then gave them both barrels. They're really excited about Nadine Dorries. And Stephen Glover, the most zombie-looking motherfucker in the British media, says, the mother of all fights lies ahead, but Nadine must keep her nerve. Oh, she's getting a on him now. Panic Future, why doesn't Rupert Grint want to fuck J.K. Rowling? The trans mafia strikes again, says Panic Future. Gonzo Socialism, the RAF should be sent to dispose of Downing Street. C122H122, man drinks in office isn't a story. JG Giftmaker says, Phil, there's room for a Village People remix of In the Navy. Not sure how they'll fit drowning people in, though. Plan B to end next week, but masks may stay. Fucking should stay. I mean, it's sensible. The Dominic Lawson says, battered Boris must relish the humbling of those desperate Brexit wreckers, Gina Miller and Burkout. Fuck off. On page 17, will China's zero COVID crackdown ruin the Olympics? Maybe. Who cares? 1 in 5 try dentistry at home amid staff crisis. It's not just staff crisis. It's that you cannot get an NHS dentist. My teeth are wrecked, but I can't get an NHS dentist, and I certainly can't afford private. Panic Future, the teddy bears weren't for Prince Andrew, but for his guests. Funny that he's so particular about other adults touching kids' things, says Pablo Bonzo. Yeah. On page 20 and 21, as Julian Fellowes' new society drama begins, dripping in diamonds, the acid-tongued queen bees of the Gilded Age who make Downton's dowager look cuddly. Oh, Jesus Christ. More of this shit. Mark Kenosis is assuming that Prince Andrew and the paedophile is going to have a Fight Club twist ending. On your bike, the psychopath plan set to oust family after 49 years. Which kind of sucks. Revealed the bid to whitewash Bill Clinton's cozy links to Epstein when Hillary ran for president. Ugh. Right, on this day, January 17th, 2022, January 17th, 1973, the Daily Mail wrote, Royal Ballet soloist Wayne Sleep, 25, has broken a record attributed to legendary Nijinsky by pulling off the fastest étrage douze, entrechat douze, a step that includes 5 crossings and uncrossings of the legs in mid-air. It was filmed for the BBC TV's Record Breakers. January 17th, 1980, Carry On star Barbara Windsor has told how police raided her home in Stanmore, Middlesex at 5:30am and arrested her husband, nightclub manager Ronnie Knight. Last night he was still being quizzed by Scotland Yard Serious Crime Squad detectives investigating a gangland murder. Happy birthday to Ricky Wilson, who's 44, and Jim Carrey, who's 60, born on this day. Betty White, 1922 to 2021, and Eartha Kitt, 1927 to 2008. On January 17th, in 1945, Soviet troops approached the SS forced prisoners at Auschwitz on what became known as death marches. In 2008, US chess grandmaster Bobby Fischer died. He was 64. Quote of the day from Ralph Lauren, who says, I don't design clothes, I design dreams. Look like clothes to me. And joke of the day, I always use the word mucho around Spanish friends. It means a lot to them. C122, H122, teeth are just luxury. Fluff Weasel, the podcasting in his practice episode on Prince Andrew's other dodgy friend was very interesting. Indeed. I'm going to be on podcasting his practice again soon. Shirley Rental is the most zombie-looking motherfucker in the press. No, being a vampire is a different category. Thanks, Jujo. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. In the Inspire section, Catherine Meyer, who is pretty fantastic, but I wish she wasn't in the Daily Mail, writes, why does everyone say widows like me should just rush to find new love? She lost her husband at the start of the pandemic. Now in a surprisingly uplifting book about grief, Catherine Meyer rails against those who, within days, told her she'd find another man. That's a really grim thing to say to someone when their partner of many years dies, isn't it? Tired of dry January? Try fizz that's been foraged from a forest, writes Helen McGinn. Fever Tree Damson and Slow Tonic Water gets 9 out of 10. Mushroom Beer gets 8 out of 10. Mushroom Beer sounds a bit fairy tale to me. But Botanical Bubbly Wildlife Botanicals Nude, £15, gets 7 out of 10. Pine Forest Soda gets 9 out of 10. And Vinegar and Tonic Sprigster Non-Alcoholic Shrub Infusion, £26, gets 8 out of 10. They were mumbling last week that Hillary is setting up her 2024 presidential run. Can't wait for her to get beaten by Donald Trump again. Kid92, fuck off with that cycle lane story. The house is getting demolished because the road is getting widened. But everyone's focusing how there's also a cycle lane getting put in. Yeah, fuck that. Slick and Mark, it's not as if issues with your teeth can literally kill you sometimes. Yeah, don't. I mean, that's my tooth throbs. At 80, Celia Burtwell has scored a hit with her new range for necks. 60s icon swings back into style, it says here. Country Files, John Craven says, make the most of lucky times. Dr. Max is awful. How to beat your sleep saboteurs. Right, in the TV today, Keeping Up with the Aristocrats, 9 p.m. ITV. More TV about rich people, I could do without it. In the TV reviews, Big American Road Trip gets 1 star and Secrets of Royal Palaces gets 3 stars. Right, in the cartoons today, Garfield's drinking coffee, Chloe and Co. Chloe's talking to a man and she says, is your job fun? He says, no, it's not supposed to be fun. Then he says, why don't I buy you lunch to explain my serious commitment to the company's philosophy on every aspect of global marketing and publicity? And she says, yes to the lunch, no to the other thing. Fred Bassett is watching the kids in his family play basketball. One is on the other's shoulders and is slam dunking the ball. Rental is undead, not the living dead. That's the difference. Yes, correct, the Burnzoid. Okay, so it's Monday, which means no poems. Boo-hoo. But let's do the straight to the point letters. Kay Morris of Cavendish says, do as you wish. Apologise and just carry on, Prime Minister. It always works. Thank you, Sir Humphrey. S. Atwater says, I want to apologise doesn't really mean I am sorry, and there are things that we simply did not get right. It's not the same as saying we got it wrong. Marty Martindale says, I'm afraid I could lose my job, which comes with the fact where I live. A fortune has been spent, not sure by who, on renovating the property. Can anyone recommend a tradesman who can remove very expensive wallpaper to reuse elsewhere? Bill Scott of Londonderry, aka County Derry, says, I can't do a Northern Irish accent, so I've got one. It's only short. Of Coleraine, Derry, says,
I'm not going back to the office until I receive an invitation by email and can bring a bottle. Hey.
Thank you very much. Thank
Hi.
you very much. F. Gunn says, the economy must be going well and COVID finally under control as the opposition can only argue about whether a party was held in May 2020. And Helen Griffiths says, but put Boris and Andrew in a sauna and see who sweats. They're angry about gloomy TV dramas. They love bird sound. Various things about how Boris Johnson's actually not bad. Today's recipe is chicken tikka masala pizzas, which look fine. Next to Tory donating wankers, says Gonzo